Greetings everyone, here we are with another delightful video. This time I'm going to do an overview of this delightful book called Pathfinder Lost Omens, Tian Xia World Guide. This is important to note that this is a product that both players and game masters can utilize, however, to different ratios. This product is like 95% for the game masters and like 5% for the players. Unless you really want to learn lore of a region of the world, if your game master is going to run campaigns or have an adventure that goes to it and leaves, or goes to it and stays, or starts from it and then leaves. But anyways, I believe this book currently MSRP is for like $59. It is approximately 304 pages. Backside blurb on it. Now, this is an important little detail. I've ranted about this numerous times in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, that this right here is indicative of the old Pathfinder 2nd Edition, or the Legacy Pathfinder 2nd Edition. However, this is not intended specifically for the original Pathfinder 2nd Edition. It is actually for Pathfinder 2nd Edition Remastered. This is a bit of an inconsistency on Paizo's part. They sometimes will have the green tear with 2nd Edition in there, or the green tear with 2nd Edition Remastered for the remaster. But every so often they will have some of the books that were on the transition between the two versions come out that has the style of the original Pathfinder 2nd Edition, or Pathfinder 2nd Edition Classic or Legacy. People will say that, oh, just go on Archives of Nethys and it'll sort it out for you. Some people don't have access to Archives of Nethys, don't know how to get to it easily, or such and such. It is a really easy website to go to. It is not hard to use. However, you don't ever want to assume that when you're selling a physical product that you have to go somewhere else to find out information about that product. It should be readily apparent on the product that it is for a specific thing. I would probably have suggested to Paizo, like just mark Pathfinder 2nd Edition Remaster as Pathfinder 2nd Edition Remaster. Make the blur tear a different shape in the corner, more like a triangle or something. And that would have been perfectly awesome. Maybe a Pathfinder 2nd Edition or 2.1 or 2.2 edition. Something like that. So there you go. But anyways, this doesn't heavily affect this book heavily. It does in some small ways. For the most part, when it comes to this book, this is like 95% game master, like 5% player. When you go through this book, you have this nice piece of artwork, big, simple table of contents. This largely is a book of regions, nations and regions of Tian Xia, with a few little bits of information on religions, factions, imperial dragons, history, and introduction, as well as a bestiary in the back. So the vast bulk of the book is basically you are going over the content, and it's like going to a specific region and telling you about that region. There is the bar on the side which has a drop menu that's highlighted. This one is actually easier to read than the typical Pathfinder 2nd Edition remasters. This spine here. It goes over the history of that part of the world and the various cultures. So if you are someone who is going to be running adventures in Tian Xia, this is a definite must-grab book. If you're a player, there's some stuff in here for you, but for like character builds, but there's not a whole lot of it. If you continue through here, this is all the gods of that part of the world. Very Eastern Orient and kind of thing. and then other gods. And then this is where you get to the section where you actually have some stuff for the players, where you have some tests of virtue rituals or ritual spells. And then you also have a few feats sprinkled in through the book. This is the standard format for each region. You'll have a picture depicting the culture or a major city, the flag, some basic information like the capital, government style, the ruler. You got symbols for the religions and resources you can find in the area, what kind of peoples you can find in the area, as well as the languages that are common. You'll see oftentimes, multiple times throughout the section, pictures of people in the common dress of the region, as well as a map on a following page of the region itself, with a compass north, south, east, west, as well as the scale for the size. And you just continue through. It goes over the culture. You got a few examples of some peoples in the region, some holidays, and it continues on to another one. That is pretty much standard for this entire book. You do have some nice variety here and there, but that's pretty much as it is. You go through the entire book and quick flipping, and then we get to the back end where you have the bestiary. You have this nice Tian Xia creature bestiary listing. You have sources for the various creatures that you can find in that region that are in other books. But then you also happen to have new creatures specifically exclusive to that region of the world as well, which is actually quite neat in itself. You got a decent variety overall. Gu Chou Rong, which looks like a sloth bear, or a sun bear or moon bear, which are actually quite dangerous. Haunted clockworks, and so forth. You got a nice little variety of creatures here. Some large mantises. A bird, a few more. Some specific vampires and undead of that. Those are psychopomps. You have the rules glossary and index in the back here. You got the Orc Notice, which is the one thing that confirms that this is a Pathfinder 2nd Edition remaster product, as opposed to a Pathfinder 2nd Edition legacy product. That is in the book, so remember that. And then you also come with a map of the world, which is actually really nice to have come along with a book. I do say I do enjoy it. I prefer them loose, so they don't involve ripping out of the book, because sometimes when you're ripping along and they decide to make it a little too small, you easily can damage the book as you're trying to remove the map from the book. And it's just easy enough to just put it over for one of the back cover pages. Overall, this is a very nice book. There's a lot of nice artwork in here, a lot of useful information for the regions. If you are the kind of person who is all about you're a player, the player score for this book is literally like 3 stars. It is just, there is things in here you can use. It's just not a lot of stuff. It's like it's all functional. It works fine. There's no issues wrong with it. There's no missing components from it. So it's a straight up 3 stars. It's just bare minimum for a player. This is not high on your player list to buy. So straight out, if you're a game master and you want to run a adventure in the Tian Xia area, this is easily 4 stars, 4.25. This is loaded with a lot of information. It's reasonably priced. You got some unique rituals. You got a lot of cultural information for each region of Tian Xia, so you can easily travel from one region to the next. This is a really nice atlas book for a game master who is specifically wanting to play in a Asian setting for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. It is an absolute must pick up. For players, it's not so much. There is a character guide that is out or coming out very soon. I might have thrown it or buried it in my pile if I already got it, or I'm about to get it. I think I'm going to get it on September 10th. Yeah, I have yet to get it yet, so it'll be out on September 10th. That will be the product for the players and game masters, but players first and foremost. So this is a game master facing product. You're a game master, pick it up. If you're a player who wants to learn more about the cultures of Tian Xia, pick it up. But you're not going to find a lot of stuff in here for players other than world lore and culture information. So I do still think this is an awesome product. These kinds of products sell really poorly just because it's a product that is really game master facing. And you have like most gaming groups, for whatever strange reason I keep hearing on the internet, is usually 1 to 2 game masters and 5 to 7 players, and game masters are supposedly rare. I don't personally experience this myself, but of course I live in Wisconsin. I could go to the local bar with my advanced 2nd edition players, my advanced 2nd edition stuff, or my advanced Dungeons & Dragons stuff, set it down and pull out a bunch of papers, and people will come over and who want to play Dungeons & Dragons. So, or run games themselves. So there's literally no problem finding game masters. There's so many people in Wisconsin that have played Dungeons & Dragons at one point in time, or game mastered, that you could pretty much just throw a rock in a bar and you'll hit one. So I have like 3 to 4 groups that I play in. One group is like 95% game masters. Another group is like 90% game masters. The third group is approximately, I have to like 50% game masters. And then there's the newbie group that I play in. It happens to be 25% game masters. Just me and John, one other major game master in my other groups. So there happens to be just, most of my groups are majority people who game master at some point, either running one shots or entire campaigns. So this is the reason why I don't do reviews for adventure paths or even adventure modules. I mean true reviews and fix-it videos, because we go in rotations, and like I might get to run a game, a one-shot here and there, and I might be able to run a campaign for about 2 years, and then I'm off like 5 to 6 years in a group because the next person rotates in and runs an entire campaign. And then after that, another person runs a campaign for 1 to 3 years, and another person comes in after that and runs a campaign for 1 to 3 years. So when it gets back around to me running a campaign again, it's been like 5 to 10 years. So it's one of those things. Unless it happens to be Pathfinder 2nd Edition or Call of Cthulhu, in which case I am the person who is always running those. But anyways, that's that. I do recommend it for game masters if you have the money to splurge on it. However, you can easily find on YouTube, Absalon Archives, or various other YouTube channels that cover Pathfinder 2nd Edition lore. There is Sir Vertigo, Absalon Archives. I should have wrote these all down ahead of time so I could tell you all 8 of them. There's 8-bit death, not 8-bit, D8 death or something like that, and a few others that do a lot of lore. You can find those channels on my channel, down in the list at the very bottom of the homepage, you go all the way down and you see that there's this other YouTubers or other channels list. You click on that and you just go down it and just you'll find well over 400 YouTubers in the TTRPG hobby right there. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you have a delightful day and a nice night. And if you enjoy this video, please subscribe. I'm at 499 as of the making of this video. And once I get to the 500 mark, I'm going to take Sassy on a walk through Lake Geneva, because I only live like a 45-minute drive from Lake Geneva. So there you go. I hope you have a delightful day, a nice night, a wonderful weekend, and see you next time. Ciao.